This video will answer your question of, I can't pay my taxes to the IRS. What do I do? If you can't pay your taxes, listen up. I'm not making this video just for the sake of making a video. I genuinely and truly want to help you in this situation because I know it's a bad problem to be in. So what I want to do is I want to bring clarity to any of the questions that you may have revolving around this situation, and I want to help you strategize a game plan so that you have the best course of action to take. And I also want to reveal to you the options that are available to you, and I want to make sure that you don't go down bad paths, making costly mistakes that will cost you time and money. And if you are here because you are a subscriber, thank you so much for supporting our channel. It really means a lot to me. And just know that I'm trying my best to answer as many questions in the comments, even during tax season. And just know that I give priority to answering questions and comments in my latest videos. And I'm also doing live streams as well. So thank you so much. If you can't pay your taxes, here are your options available to you. Number one, do nothing. You know, it's not recommended that you go down this route. However, it's still an option for you. Option number two, file an extension for your tax return. That way the IRS, they don't know that you owe money. However, you're going to have to come up with the money soon because your extension is going to run out in 6 months. Option number three, file your tax return and request a short-term extension payment. This is where you are filing your return and you're telling them, hey, I can't pay now, but I can pay within 120 days in full. If you can't do that, your fourth option is to create a full-blown payment plan. This option is an installment agreement that you pay back your balance due over the course of a certain amount of months or a certain amount of years. If you go down this path, this will not affect your credit score because this activity is not reported to those credit agencies. And the last option is to do an offer in compromise. You may have heard of these on radio ads or television ads where they say, settle your tax debt for pennies on the dollar. And for the people asking if there's a time limit for the IRS to collect their debt from you, there actually is. There's a 10-year statute of limitations. However, you got to ask yourself if you want to play that game for 10 years, if you want to feel like a fugitive for 10 years. However, I'm not against it because I actually have a client that's on year 8. They're almost there. They're almost at the finish line. Let's get back to reviewing your options. I understand that feeling of wanting to do nothing. I know that deep down inside that you don't want to do nothing. It's just that being in this situation, it can make you feel paralyzed because you probably don't even want to think about it just to maintain your sanity. But the thing is that if you just keep procrastinating and doing nothing, you're just digging yourself a deeper hole with penalties. And just know that the penalty, it's based off your balance due. So the bigger your balance due, the bigger your problem. Whatever your balance due is, they're going to charge you 5% of that a month for not filing. They're going to charge you half a percentage point a month for not paying. And on top of all this, they're going to charge you interest, just whatever the variable rate is at that time. I mean, that's just highway robbery rates if you add them all together. You need to snap out of this state of paralysis. This is your wake-up call. You need to come to acceptance that at this point in your life, due to whatever circumstance, you simply cannot afford to pay your tax bill. After you've accepted that fact, then you can create a game plan and start moving forward. Here's an option for you. If you really don't want to go on a payment plan with the IRS, then you can file an extension for your tax return. Here's a scenario. This is what's happening in this scenario. It's April 15th. Taxes are due April 15th. If you file your tax return, then the IRS will have your tax return. And they're going to see this person owes us money. Let's go after them. Well, they know because you filed your tax return. Here's another scenario. April 15th, you have taxes due. You can't pay it, so you do nothing. If you do that, you're going to get hit with the failure to file penalty and the failure to pay penalty. And then sooner or later down the line, you're going to file your taxes and you're going to be subject to those penalties and you're going to have to face the music, and that's going to suck. Here's the option that I would recommend in this scenario. File a tax return extension. If you do that, then at least you're going to avoid the failure to file penalty. You're still going to get hit with the failure to pay penalty, but at least you're avoiding the failure to file penalty, which is actually much more severe than the failure to pay penalty. And secondly, if you file a tax return extension, this is what's happening. You filed an extension. Your tax return is not due until October 15th. That way, okay, you haven't filed your tax return. If you haven't filed your tax return, the IRS, they don't have your tax return. They can't see that you owe them money, so they're not going to go after you. Not until at least you file on October 15th. But if it's April 15th and you do this extension, you got to come up with the money soon, at least by October 15th, because if you don't, then you're going to be in the same boat. You're going to be in the same position on October 15th that you are on April 15th. So if you go this route, you got to come up with the money soon. Another option is to file your taxes and request a short-term extension payments. If you can't pay your taxes in full immediately, you can request a 120-day extension to get that balance due paid to the IRS. The good thing about this option is that there's no fee for this. However, the interest and penalties, they'll still continue to accrue and rack up until you get that paid. To do this, to set this up, it's very easy. You just go to the online payment agreement on the IRS website, or you can simply just give the IRS general hotline a call. And if you want to dig up their number, just Google it. Just Google IRS contact, and it'll pull up their IRS general hotline number. Your other option is to create a payment plan with the IRS. This is a full-blown payment plan. You do so by completing Form 9465 and mailing it into them. Or you can call them and just take care of this over the phone. Now, here's the thing. They do charge you a fee for this, which is like kicking someone when they're down. They're going to charge you $31 to $149 based off your income levels. Now, here's a word of advice. So you do have some power in dictating the terms of the payback period and how much that you're paying back per period, so how much every month. Make sure you make this an amount that you can actually pay back. You don't want to default on this. The last thing you want to do is default on this and cause more problems. So that's just my advice. Within 30 days of doing this application process, you're going to hear from them and they're going to say that it's approved, denied, or they want more information. Another option, which I get asked frequently, hey, what's the deal with those radio ads or those TV ads that I hear? Settle for pennies on the dollars. We're a tax debt settlement company. That's the one where the IRS, they write you off as uncollectible. So in certain circumstances, yes, they will write off the majority of your tax debt and they'll take whatever they can get. Now, you probably heard those commercials just saying, do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more? Well, give us a call then. We'll help you settle for pennies on the dollar. Here's what to expect if you hire one of those companies. There's going to be three scenarios. You're either going to hire a scam company, or you're going to hire a company that actually is legitimately doing this and they just suck, or you're going to hire a legitimate company that's actually very good. Here's what happens when you hire a scam company. The company, they're going to promise you a team of experts, former IRS agents, tax attorneys, certified public accountants, enrolled agents, the works. And you're going to be like, holy cow, this sounds like a dream team. This is an all-star team, and they're going to help reduce my tax debt. They're going to push around the IRS. They're going to bully them around. These guys, they're experts. You know, this is my team. You're so impressed that you pay the debt settlement fee, the initial fee that they request, and then you're just going to wait and wait and wait, and nothing's going to happen. You're not going to hear from them. You're going to get so fed up, you're going to call the company, and you're going to be like, hey, what's going on? And then the general secretary, they're just going to be like, oh, the case representative assigned to you, you know, they're processing your return. Don't worry, everything's fine. And then that's just going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating. They're going to go silent. They've basically scammed you. They're not going to do anything. Now, this is what you can expect if you hire a legitimate debt settlement company that sucks. Let me give you an example. Let's go to Yelp. I'll show you. Let's go to Yelp. Let's look up a tax debt settlement company. Tax debt settlements. Here it is in Chicago. Let's see what it pulls up. Let's see. Okay, these guys, 3 out of 5 stars. Let's click on it. Let's see what the people are saying. Let's see. Let's just scroll down to the bottom. Okay. Great initial contact person, but no real results. Paid $795 for nothing but moral support, really. Cool. I hired community tax maybe 10 months ago. They charged me $700. Looks like nothing happens. Well, Been playing phone tag with Community Relief for a year now. I've been playing phone tag. I will make this short. You'll be better off if you negotiate directly with the IRS. My experience is very unproductive. Okay, so you get the story. Don't be fooled. What they're gonna do is they're gonna say, give me your W-2s, 1099s, your basic tax documents. And they're gonna say, we can put you on a payment plan with the IRS. They're gonna give you paperwork to fill out, but that paperwork is downloaded directly from the IRS website. You could have done this yourself. Or they're gonna give you some spiel about a scripted message. And they're gonna say, due to our amazing negotiation skills, there's a chance that we can reduce your debt for pennies on the dollar. What they're referring to is the offer in compromise, which is what we've been talking about this whole time, the OIC. Basically, they're going to put you in the OIC application process. However, to qualify for an OIC or to have it executed, it's a very high hurdle. It's a very high bar. I mean, the IRS, they're going to examine your income, your expenses, your other debts, your ability to pay, your assets, including the equity in your home. And if you don't qualify and you find out you're rejected, guess what? The company, they're going to charge you an application fee for attempting to do the OIC application. That's what they're really after. If you hire a legitimate tax debt settlement company that knows what they're doing, then chances are that they probably will be able to help you out. But however, at what cost? Just know that if they're going to just put you on a payment plan, you could have done that yourself directly with the IRS. And you could have used that money that you paid the company to pay down your own debt with the IRS. You know, honestly, if you're not going to engage the tax debt settlement company for an OIC, I don't see the point. Unless you're going to do the OIC and have it, or at least a high chance of getting it approved, then I don't see the reason why you should be working with them. The OIC, it's a high hurdle and it's a high bar to cross over, to pass. Just know that generally you need to be willing to pay them and prove to them that this is as much money that you can afford and how much that they can expect to receive from you over a reasonable amount of time. I mean, if that's not the case, you're just wasting everyone's time and your own money trying to go after this OIC that's not going to work. Thank you so much for tuning in with me on this one. I sincerely hope that this helps you create a game plan, move forward, and put this in your past. Please subscribe to our channel, Clear Value Tax. Thanks again. Take care.